Linda Ball, welcome to Australian Musician.
Thank you very much. Good to see you, Greg.
Yeah, we're chatting today. We're talking about the PBS Radio Festival. Do you remember when you were first, or when did you first become aware of community radio?
Oh, way back when we started singing, sophisticated boom boom days.
Yeah.
About the construction, there's construction everywhere. I live in Fitzroy, and it's like, hey, I'm surrounded by cranes. Yeah, but sophisticated boom boom days, probably mid-80s.
Yeah.
I left school, and we grew up in the suburbs, Vika and I, so we just relied on record collections and radio. And as the more we got interested in music, the more aware we came of the sort of breadth of where we could find new music, not just our record collection. So it was a combo between, I was probably about 17.
Yeah,
I was a bit late to the party, to be honest.
When you're starting out as an artist, what are the hurdles that get in the way of sort of getting known, and how does community radio help you?
Well, it's really tough. It's still tough, I think. It's easier now with social media, but back then, it's, you print your own posters and you rely on your friends to help you put them up, and you rely on word of mouth and your performance to kind of spread the news, spread the word that, that might be a worthwhile act to see. But there's only so much you can do. So then you rely on the next, in conjunction with that is local radio, because no one really knows who you are. I find that grassroots level of support has been really key in building an audience. And then our job is to hold that audience. So in the beginnings, and still now to this day, very, very important, vitally important to getting your music out there, because I like the independence. I like the fact that they want to play it. They're not told to play our music. And that's kind of where I get my enjoyment from listening to new music and finding new acts.
Yeah.
Still,
do you remember the first time you heard yourselves on radio, on community radio?
Oh yeah, I think it was a bit of a shock, because I don't think anyone wanted to play it. This was when we were recorded though, so it took us a while to get recorded. We were just a live act. Yeah.
So as well as being a handy promotional tool, community radio, what do you get out of a station like PBS as a music fan?
Oh, well, for me, it's just the exploration and the discovery of new music. I love the fact that you can go, all the shows are different. They have a theme, but you never know what you're going to hear. It's real. It's not fake. And I like the different personalities of the presenters. I like the fact that I can find a record or find new music and go down the local record shop and buy it, or get it if I want to listen to it on my turntable. But, if I want to listen to it in other means, I can easily just search for it like that.
Yeah. For a lot of music fans, stations like PBS were a lifeline during the pandemic, particularly here in Melbourne, where we were locked down for so long. Did you find yourself turning to the radio for comfort during the pandemic?
Yeah, I did, more than ever. A lot of talk used to kind of annoy me, but it didn't in the lockdown. I liked hearing the voices of the familiarity of the voices. I liked that they were talking about what they were going through too. I actually tuned in a lot more. I like to tune in when we're away. It's sometimes difficult, but yeah, I was home and getting into it.
I recently saw you guys up at Blues Fest. You were playing your own material. I saw you with Paul Kelly. How good was it to be back in front of huge audiences?
Thanks for coming. Great. I mean, it's kind of overwhelming. You have to prepare yourself, because you go from your lounge room in front of 15,000 people. It's a bit of a head, messes with your head. I don't swear, but you kind of walk out there and there's like all these people staring at you, and you've got to kind of get yourself together a bit. So it was great, but it was nerve-wracking. It's a bit of adjustment.
Yeah. I also found it, and I know a lot of the artists found it quite emotional too. I saw quite a few tears in the crowd and on stage.
Yeah, I shared those tears, and so did Vic. I think Paul did too, or Kelly. It's hard. You go through so much to get onto the stage, and the people that put on those events go through so much. The audience goes through so much to hold on to their tickets. So there's a team effort there of all of us working our asses off to try and make sure that the show goes ahead. But we would really, I know it sounds kind of wet, but we wouldn't be having a show if people didn't turn up and hold on to the tickets, really. Wouldn't be playing.
Yeah. Also, finally, you have the Wait tour happening throughout June. In hindsight, maybe you jinxed yourself by naming the album The Wait.
Yeah, well, it has been like we were meant to play it last November and now it's June. But hey, I don't care. As long as I get to play our own show at the Palais, which is where we're playing in Melbourne, the biggest room we played on our own, I think. Well, it's not, but it's the first time in the Palais that Vika and I have ever headlined our own show. And that's a big deal. I want to see people there, and we're trying to do our best there. Doesn't matter that it's called The Wait. I don't care.
So which of the new songs are scrubbing up well and you're enjoying playing live?
Well, so far we've been lucky to be able to play about 9 out of the 12 songs off the record. But so there's 3 that I have to learn. And I'm enjoying all of them. They're really different. All great songs to sing, lyrically, melodically. They're not hard to do with just a guitar or a piano or full band. So that to me is a sign of a really, really good song. It can be stripped back or it can be added to. And I'm enjoying all of them.
Yeah. And who have you got on in the band for this tour?
The band that did The Wait, the whole band, we wanted to reproduce it exactly as close to exactly as we could. So we've got the same musicians that played on it: Richard Bradbeer on bass, Lachlan O'Kane on the drums, Ash Naylor on the guitar, Cameron Bruce on keyboards, and Vika and I on vocals. Yeah. That's it.
And Ash is a very busy guy. I think he was in LA last weekend or the weekend before with the church.
He is incredible. The way he can go from one style of music to another and give it, you would never know that he's walking all those different roads in music. But every time he plays a guitar, I think this guy's highly underrated as a singer as well as a songwriter. And, deservedly so. Everyone wants to book him because he's really, 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 really good.
Yeah. So the Wait tour happens in June. And what happens after that for the rest of 2022?
Got a few things on the boil. It's pretty interesting. We've been in the studio, we've made another record, we've been writing, and it's going to be an interesting second part of the year. Yeah, touring with other artists that we normally wouldn't tour with, and trying to kind of go to areas where, just find audiences that we don't normally play to. It's an experiment, and we put ourselves out there, and we fall flat on our faces, then so what? We tried.
I guess we should finish up by saying why people should support PBS and donate.
They should bloody well support PBS because they've always supported us. Donate and help them, because without them, we wouldn't be hearing new music. We wouldn't be given an opportunity to do what we love. So yeah, please support PBS.
Linda Bull, thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much. Good to talk to you.